Hey guys, it's Vintage Vinny, and I have a collective thrift store and antique store haul to share with you today. Got a great amount of stuff as usual, and I'm looking forward to sharing with you all. Stay tuned. So last week I had about 2 days off in a row, which is a little unusual for me. So what I did is I went thrifting in my town. I went to every place that I could go to, including the Goodwill outlet, and came home after that, did what I could with everything and sorted it out from vintage and non-vintage to get ready for this haul video. And then the next day I went about an hour and 50 minutes away from home. I went into Pennsylvania, went to a couple Goodwills out there. And then I went to an antique shop that I have not been to in, I would say, probably, 4 or 5 years, because it was just so far away from where we used to live. And I thought an hour and 50 minutes I can make that drive. And since I have a car now, I get to go anywhere I want. So let's jump right into this haul video. Okay, so let's get started. I have some stuff on the floor below me, so I'm going to cut that off when I'm done showing you all the stuff I was able to fit on the table. So, this first item is not really that old, but it's up there in age in terms of it being 21 years old. Now, normally I would shy away from this item, but you'll see what it is, and I'll discuss why I picked it up. So this first item is a 1998 Sesame Street Hamilton Beach Cookie Monster cookie press. Now, if you all are into the vintage game, a lot of different companies issued these kitchen utensils for many, many years. Hamilton Beach, Sunbeam, you name it, any Betty Crocker, all these names issued these. Now these are very common, not worth a whole lot of money if you find the vintage ones. This one, because it has a theme to it, or like a children's television show theme, it is worth about probably $15. I paid about $1 for it. Funny enough, they scratched out this garage sale price sticker, and they just priced it exactly, only a penny less. Sorry. So this is what it looks like. It's brand new, never used. It's got Cookie Monster on the actual tube, and then it's got the Sesame Street logo on the press itself. And then there are the metal discs right here, and I believe all of them are present. And like I said, paid 99 cents for that. And I'm looking to get about $15 for that. Now this was just something fun and kooky, and I just loved it. It was 99 cents. It's a piece of Christmas. It's got elves dancing all around the glass. Don't know what year it's from. I don't think there was any markings on it. Or maybe there is. No, maybe that's just dirt. That's probably just dirt or some weird mark. If I'm wrong, let me know. But yeah, that was 99 cents. When I saw that, I was kind of like, yeah, let me go ahead and jump on that, because I love picking up vintage seasonal decor when it is not in season. Like, I like buying Christmas all year round, Halloween all year round, because if I like it and it's cheap, people are more than willing to get rid of it for a cheaper price than it is when it's in season. Alright, so these I'm not sure are going to bring anything, but they're really cool anyway. These are wrist sweatlets. I guess it's just to help you reduce sweat when you're working out or playing sports. They're from Kmart originally. As you can see up there, Kmart. And this is what the back looks like. I think they're really cool. I really liked that packaging. I don't know that this is really going to appeal to somebody. I haven't looked them up yet, but I took a chance with them for 50 cents a piece because that was cheap. I've got a set in brown and I have a set in white. Now, this is something I bought at a charity thrift store. It was $2.75, and I'm not sure if it's vintage or not, but I thought it was really cool anyway. It looks like an old school paperboy or someone you'd see like out on the corner, either selling newspapers or just selling something. No markings on him at all, as you can see. Paid $2.75, but I thought he was really cool anyway. This is just going to go into my jar of old things. Like I said, I don't really buy much jewelry, but if I see something that's unique or unusual, like this piece, I will pick it up just to hoard it in my little trinkets jar. From that same thrift store, they kind of knew what they had, but the price was still rather reasonable. So this is a vintage Hazel Atlas children's mug, probably from the 1940s, according to my research. It says, B is for Bunny. He's timid and shy. Away he can run. So fast he does fly. And there's a $5 price tag on there. In really good condition. The only place that I see some real issues are like right here where the curve of the B, there's like a little paint loss there. It does have the HA on the bottom. Let's see if I can get that to focus for you all. HA for Hazel Atlas. I only saw one of these on eBay, and it looks like one sold for $22.99 with free shipping. So what I'm going to end up doing is probably list it for just a few dollars less, probably $19.99 and charge shipping, because I don't know, I just don't like to do free shipping on things. But that was a really cool find, and had I not looked this up first, I would have thought $5 was a little bit much, or a little bit more than I should spend. So this came from the Goodwill also. If I had an antique booth, I would probably put this in there. This is like a Pomeranian kind of dog. No price tag on it, but it is older, as you can see. See if I can get it to focus. I think that says Joseph's Originals, and the Japan sticker was actually ripped. In terms of eBay value, probably no more than $8 to $10, but I paid $1, so that's still more than what I spent. I mean, someone will find her cute. I mean, if you're interested, please let me know, and we can always work out a deal. This came from the Salvation Army. It's from the late 70s. It's another Sesame Street item. It's got Bert and Ernie on it. It was a quarter. And on the bottom, it is marked Sesame Street, porcelain, oven, microwave, freezer, and dishwasher safe, Japan. I know somebody who collects Sesame Street items, or just somebody who had this mug as a child, will definitely want it back. In terms of value, probably $10, $12. That's what I'm looking to get for it. Now this next item I was kind of surprised to see because I've never seen anything like it before. It looks like a Quaker, like one of those colonial day Quaker guys. And it's actually a creamer. And I've seen a lot of things of this nature out at antique shops and thrift stores. I just don't pick them up because I don't know anything about them. And I just see that they're really mass produced. I did not pay $20 for this. I think this came from someone's antique booth or their vendor space or wherever they were selling. I would never have paid $20 for this. Now, my Goodwill was only asking $2 for it, so I got it 90% of what the original seller wanted. It's marked Cavalier M-S. I did look this up, and one similar right now is listed on eBay for $20.53. As you can see, there's a lot of crazing all over him, probably just due to age, like a lot of old ceramics. When they're exposed to different elements, air, and who knows what else, these things can definitely start to see problems like this. But he's really cool, and if I'm just going to use him for display, I don't see any problem with that. I don't know if this was a vendor sticker or like a maker's mark or something right here, this yellow residue, but that definitely gave me the indication that it was older, because sticker residue nowadays doesn't turn that color. But I thought he was really cool, and $2, I didn't think that was a really bad price. He can either go in the kitchen, or he can just be a cool display piece, maybe even for like pencils or pens or something. Now, I mentioned to Nesting Haven, Nicole, someone who I've been following a lot. She does a lot of vintage Pyrex and Corningware, and let me tell you, sometimes I feel like the butterfly gold and all that other stuff is just stalking me when I'm out and about, and I keep thinking of her every time I see that crazy daisy butterfly gold pattern. I'm just like, stop following me. I don't need to be followed with this crazy pattern, because it's everywhere. Anyway, this picture kind of brought back memories. This is from the 1970s. It's a Pyrex lemonade pitcher. Hold on one second. Alright, you guys, so back to what I was telling you earlier. This is a 1970s Pyrex lemonade pitcher. And how do I know that? Because it says Pyrex, Corning, New York, USA. As you can see, I paid 75 cents for it. If I were to resell this, I could probably get 10 to 12 bucks for it on eBay. But like I said, this has a lot of memories tied to it. Now, my grandmother was a housewife in the 70s. You know, my grandfather worked and she stayed home, sort of a thing, for while the kids were growing up. And I think for many years, she had, and I remember this vividly, she drank a lot of iced tea in her older years, and she had the cornflower blue pitcher. And I remember her making iced tea and lemonade in it. I even remember making it for her sometimes, and she would say, "Don't use a metal spoon, because if you do, you're going to break the glass." I'm sure that phrase has been said numerous times over the years, especially for people who still use the pitcher even decades after they have gone out of style. I have another one that's like this, only it has a handle on it, and there are lemons and limes on it. But I think it is missing the lid, but that doesn't bother me because who cares? You can still serve lemonade in it with it without the lid. So I thought that was really cool, and I will definitely be using that for lemonade in the future. Alright, so Nesting Haven, if you're watching me, these are the items that I would like to know if you would like them or not. These are Spice of Life Pyrex containers, or canisters. I paid 50 cents a piece for them. They're marked Pyrex, made in the US. One thing that I didn't realize until I picked one of these up, that glass is really thin. That's like plate glass. You drop that on concrete, that's going to shatter into a million pieces. So Nicole, if you want these, you're more than welcome to have them. You just need to direct message me where I can send them to you. Again, paid 50 cents a piece. The lids are in great condition, and I think you will really enjoy these. Alright, so for 50 cents a piece, or 50 cents for this bag, sorry, I got 2 magnets. Now this owl I'm not too crazy about, but what I really wanted was this one right here. How stinking cool is that? It's a strawberry shake. It's made by, I don't know if it's going to show up here, but we will see. I think it's made by Gift Co. Ware, and I think that was probably Hong Kong. Gift Co. Inc. right there. So this is probably from the 70s. Just another piece that I'm going to throw into my jar of old stuff because I just like small, kitschy pieces like this. Now, this owl is not marked anywhere, as far as I know. I don't see anything. Yeah, I don't see anything, to you? Because I don't. But yeah, those were for me. Now, before I conclude this clip, I would really like you all's opinion on this because I'm torn. This isn't old. This is a Villeroy and Boch, if that's how you pronounce it, mug. It's got a chicken on it. I think it's called spring chicken. I can't remember the pattern's name. I picked this up at the Goodwill outlet, and they were charging 25 cents a mug. So as you can see, Villeroy and Boch, or Bosch, however you pronounce that. Now, my only dilemma, and I strongly recommend that if you're going to buy anything at the Goodwill, please look over your items, because I've bought numerous broken things there, and thankfully it was not too much money, but still. Look at that little chippy right there. I was so bummed because I looked this up and the last one sold for $35 for just one mug. Now, do you all think that I could probably still sell this maybe for just a little bit cheaper, like maybe $15, $20, but of course disclose this little chip here? Because you can't even really see it if you're holding it like this. I mean, I don't think I would have any problem selling it as long as I disclose that little issue right there. Or do you think I should just go ahead and redonate it or trash it because it's not worth anything to anybody who's looking to replace this? Let me know in the comments below. I would greatly appreciate you all's input. Moving right along here are 2 vintage milk glass mixer juicer pieces. I bought these at the Goodwill outlet. They came out to be $1.66 each. I bought something else, so it weigh it by the pound, by like per houseware, clothing, whatever. So I went ahead and purchased these without looking them up. They were really cheap. I had never seen these mixers with the original colander and the juicer itself. So I went ahead and got those. I did look them up and they're not going for a whole lot of money. I'm actually going to keep one for myself because I have a vintage Sunbeam mixer that does not have these. I have one of the original milk glass components that the juicer would go into, but I didn't have the original hardware to go with it, so I think that's going to make a really good addition to my vintage Sunbeam mixer. In terms of resale value, like I said, these don't go for a whole lot. I think if I sell one of them, I'm going to get $15. More than likely, I'm going to be keeping these because they're very clean. As you can see, there's some dirt and everything on this one over here, but I don't think I'm going to have a problem selling them. So let's go ahead and move on to the other items I found. Alright, so this next item is actually rather large. I got this at the antique mall that I hadn't visited in a really long time. Now, it was a little pricey, or what I think to be a little pricey. It was $12, but I really, really liked the way it looked. Very abstract, very different, very interesting. Now, let me see if I can find the marking for you all. Now, I don't know if this was handmade or if it was signed or if it was done by an artist, but here is the artist's name right there. I can't make out who it is. If it's Milka, Micah, Milton, I don't know. In terms of age, I would probably say this is from the 1960s or the 1970s. The bright green and the splattered yellow in the glass just kind of gave me a little bit of a hint of the era. If you all know who that artist is, please let me know in the comments. I think that would help me sell it fast. Or if it's not as old as I think it is and it's not worth a ton of money, it's no big deal because I liked it and that's why I picked it up. Alright, so this next item that I'm going to be sharing with you all is something that I normally don't pick up because items like this are just not really worth my time to be buying to resell. So this is a 1994 Weisman Lenox collector plate. It's never been used. As you can see, it's in the original plastic. And I don't hardly ever see Lenox made in the US anymore unless it's older. So there's the stamp on the bottom there. Lenox, made in the US, 1994. Nativity vignettes, the Weisman. There are a couple of little marks here. I guess that's just from being handled over the years. And the hardware for the plastic stand, or the wooden stand, excuse me, is new, never been opened. This was originally $10. I would have never paid that for something like this. So I got it half off because the color of the week at the time was purple. Now, if you were to ask me what would I give this store's rating in terms of pricing, cleanliness, and I guess whatever else usually comes with your satisfaction rate of a store. Scale of 1 to 5, I would probably give it a 2. In terms of pricing, I think some of the stuff was priced pretty decently, and then there were other things that were like, are you kidding me? Perfect example of this, I'm pretty spoiled here in my town where most of my t-shirts and all the shirts that I buy for work and for just casual wear, I spend $2.09 on. That's what the going rate for t-shirts is in my town. $2.09. Now, if they find something fancier like Nike or Lacoste or Ralph Lauren, Nautica, sometimes they'll price that at $3 or $4.09. And I think that's relatively reasonable because those are, you know, nice name brands, I think. But this Goodwill wanted $4.99 for any t-shirt that they had on the rack, except for, of course, whatever color tag was half off that day or that week. I personally didn't think that was worth it at all because there were like brands like Hanes and Gildan, shirts you can go buy at Walmart new for cheaper. In terms of cleanliness, this store, horrible. Things were just thrown all over the shelves, and I get, you know, thrift stores are junk stores, but at least have some organization. Like, don't just have, excuse my French, shit just thrown all over the place. Like, shelves were just so stocked and messy to the point where you were afraid to pick up one thing with like 5 other things about to fall or just get messed up and knocked over. It was just chaotic. And the aisles were really tight, too. And this was a large location, especially in the houseware aisle.
Media, I guess, is easier because it's all basically the same shape, like VHS tapes, DVDs, video games, books, etc. Most of those are all the same size, so they can, fit well together. But, I mean, certain things like that Lenox piece I just showed you, $10, I would never have paid that. Another perfect example of something that I was completely shocked to even see. Traditional Corningware mugs that have like that snowflake garland pattern on them that have been out for years and years. They wanted $7.99 for one mug. I don't know who the hell was pricing shit, but whoever it was, they need to go back and get a reality check. And then another thing that I found while I was perusing the housewares aisle was, it wasn't marked Goebel, but it had a V for West German, stamp on the bottom of it. It was completely chipped. They had it in one of those bags where they just hang it on the peg hook for whatever price. They had $20 on that thing. I'm like, good luck. You're never going to sell that thing. And then I go over to the lamp section, and then there's just, a plethora of outdated, ugly lamps that they wanted like $15 and $30 for. I'm like, no, this is a thrift store, not a department store. Now, before I get any hate, I'm sorry for going on about that, but it's the truth. I only managed to spend $7.96 at that store. Now, they did ask me to round up, and I almost didn't want to because the store just pissed me off so bad. But, it was 4 cents, and I like to have an even amount in my bank account, so I was like, whatever, okay. But yeah, that store I would never ever go to again because it was just messy, claustrophobic, overpriced in some things, and just horrible. So anyway, next piece that I managed to find is this birthday angel. Purple was half off, as I mentioned. It was $1.50. I don't think there's anything broken off of it as far as I know, unless that's a broken pedal right there, which I think it is. Crap. So I don't think I'm going to be able to sell this, or maybe I will. Maybe I'll throw it up for $8 and just mention that the only thing that looks to be broken is that little pedal right there. Most of these, when you find them, there are going to be broken pieces on them. I can go ahead and take the sticker off and see if I can see if there's a left-in sticker left on it. Because this one's later. This one's probably from the 60s, 70s. And there is no mark. I think $8 is probably what I can get for this because with that little broken pedal right there, kind of detracts from the value. Now, I don't know if the wings were glued back on it, but either it looks like it was many years ago or that's how it was when they made it. But yeah, story with that, Goodwill. And then the last piece that I bought there, which I'm probably going to end up making $12 to $14 on. I bought a 70s clown globe, probably for a kid's bedroom. It only cost me 99 cents. And the decals are in pretty good condition. I know there are some people out there who just do not like clowns at all. They find them scary and creepy, even with all the horror movies they've made about clowns. But there are people out there who like them, and I'm sure somebody will enjoy having this in their bedroom or in their children's bedroom. So those were the 3 items I got at that horrible Goodwill. And then I went to a couple of Goodwills out in Pennsylvania, and this was something that I've never seen before. It's a footed dish, and as you can see, there's crazing and, just a bunch of crud in there that I'm going to probably take some barkeeper's friend to. And if you all can see that mark down there, that is a McCoy. Now, that doesn't really add to the value of this piece because these are mass-produced pieces, but I've never seen a dish like this. I think it was originally a pot, but to me it looks like a clawfoot bathtub. Like I said, I'm going to go ahead and clean that out and see if I can get all those scratches and stuff out of there. And I might use it as a planter, or I might just use it for decoration. And for a whole buck, I was not going to leave that behind. Now, they had some old, magazines for, sewing and things like that. And normally I don't really go for that stuff, but these were so cheap. These two were 2 for 99 cents, so 50 cents a piece. Originally somebody wanted 10 cents, I guess, at a yard sale, and they just didn't sell. So this is an Afghan's book, and I think this one was made in 1938, if I'm not mistaken. Let's see. Yep, copyright 1938 in USA. This is by Busilla. And this one is actually 10 years later, Afghans. This one, I think, was 1948. Yep, 1948. I don't know that these are going to hold much value. I might send these to either Miss Stone Home or Pudgy Picker because she likes her sewing stuff, and she might get a kick out of looking at something like this. I'll have to see. I might do my research and see if they're worth anything, but if they're not, it's no big deal. This next one, I think, is about baby things. It's Bear Brand. This one was just 99 cents, which is perfectly fine. I don't know if this one had a year on it. MCML VI. I'm going to have to see what year that is. But yeah, this is just all about, like, I guess, things to order for your baby, what outfits you can make, what outfits you can buy. But I think Miss Stone Home will like this because she always likes crafting with things like this. So I just actually sent her a box a couple days ago, and, you know, I like to build stuff up over a month if I see stuff that I think she'll like, and then I'll just send it to her. For 75 cents at my local Goodwill, I found this really awesome plastic caddy, and in them are these golf club swizzle sticks, and then I guess somebody over time added these shell pieces here. Now, they were only asking 75 cents, which was a great price. In terms of resale value, probably only worth about 13 bucks, but I thought this was rather interesting. If I go ahead and sell it, I'll probably ask 10, 12, like I said before. The decal or the paper on here is in really good condition. It says, "Behold the golfer. He riseth up early in the morning and disturbeth the whole household. Mighty are his preparations. He goeth forth full of hope, and when the day is far spent, he returneth, smelling of strong drink, and the truth is not in him." Just a fun little novelty piece. I just really liked that. I've never seen anything like it before, so, like, you know what they say, the right time to buy something is when you see it. And that was just interesting, or I might just hold on to it for myself. I'm not sure yet. Now, the last piece from the thrift store, funny enough, I was just watching Garland Girl 21's video about what's in her vintage caboodle. Now, I'm not really into makeup, but, you know, I hadn't seen a caboodle in, gosh, I can't even tell you. It's been a long time. But funny enough, I found one myself, and it's in my colors, like blue and green and white. It's kind of got like a tie-dye feel to it. Now, I know these were popular for girls in the, I think, 80s and 90s. Mine, unfortunately, is missing the tray that goes in here. And let me tell you, this thing smells like crayons were stored in it. So I was wiping it out with a Clorox wipe to try to get rid of that smell, and, I mean, I successfully did it with a Clorox wipe. Just kind of sanitized it. Hello. So yeah, the mirror is pretty much intact. There's a little bit of chipping, I think, on the corners, but that's normal from use, I guess. This was only $1. And if I were to sell it, I'd probably get 17 to 20 for it. I'm not sure if I can use it, and if I can, I'm going to go ahead and sell it because I think this one's a little bit more sought after because it's got multiple colors on it. Alright, so I got two things from the antique store. Actually, three things. You guys already saw that really cool, colorful bowl. This I really took a chance with, and I had no signal in there whatsoever. So this is a Fleer's double bubble yellow plastic container. It was originally $12.50, and then I think I got 40% off, so I paid $7.50 for it. I looked them up, and two of them sold for about $17, and one sold for $5. So, I mean, I didn't do terrible. I didn't have to pay shipping on something like this. And my mom really likes it, so I'm just going to go ahead and give it to her, and she said that she can use it for her makeup or for whatever the heck it is that she wants, because she really likes that advertising. I think these originally came in cardboard boxes, and I guess these were just used to, like, store all the double bubble, and then could just pull it right out and put it on the counter. But that was interesting. I'd never seen anything like that before, and $7.50 wasn't terrible, but I mean, when I found out one sold for $5, I was kind of, but I didn't have to pay shipping on it, so it wasn't a terrible buy. And my mom liked it, so what the heck, right? Now this last piece that I'm going to show you is something that I've seen numerous times at different antique stores and flea markets, and they've just been too expensive for me to purchase. But when I saw this one for $12, I had to have it because it's so freaking cool. Now, if any of you all don't know what this is, anybody who's either from... Sorry about that, guys. For whatever reason, Google has been a real PETA with their ads lately. Anyway, so if you all don't know what this is actually a soda fountain syrup dispenser. I'll bring my camera up so you guys can see this much better. So yeah, these are really cool. This one's made of porcelain. It's got a chrome top with chrome finish. As you can see, it's gotten a little rusty and it's been handled a lot over the years. But what I really like about it is the fact that it has a vanilla, this was for vanilla syrup, I guess. Really heavy duty metal. That's the inside. Let me see if I can get that to focus for you all. Just a very, very cool piece. And like I said, I only paid $12 for it. I saw some today at the flea market, and they were metal or plastic, so that made me think they were newer. Overall in very good condition, as you can see, I guess from handling over the years, or if this was in someone's home, or I don't know if this was in a drugstore or what. But I guess, you know, when you're refilling your syrup dispenser, honey, we need more syrup. Okay, dear. Boop. Honey, I just want to let you know we chipped our awesome porcelain syrup dispenser. Don't be mad at me. So I'm sure something like that happened. And this is old too, so you know, when the person at the register said, "Did you see the chip?" and I was like, "Yeah, of course, it doesn't bother me. It's an older piece." I've never ever been able to own one of these. There's a guy at our local vendor mall who has a couple of these and he wants like $40 and $50 for them. I was like, "Oh no, thank you. I'm not going to buy that for that." But I just thought this was really cool, and like I said, you don't see these very often for cheap. So let's go ahead and take a look at the bottom. So this is what the bottom says. It's the Fishman Company in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. It's also got a stamp that says 466-1. But yeah, this is overall in really good condition. I don't know if I'm going to sell it yet. I'm most likely probably going to after I hold on to it for a little bit because I've never owned anything like this before. But yeah, that's pretty much my entire story there with that.
So that concludes this haul video today. What did you think? Did I find some cool stuff? Was my rant about that one Goodwill a little too much? Let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to click the bell next to the subscribe button if you'd like to know when a new video is posted. All the links to my social media accounts are down below in the description as well. Instagram is where I'm most currently active, where you get to see previews of items that you're going to see in future haul videos. And that's all for today, folks. Thanks for watching.